going on? As always, coming to you from Camp Walmart. We are in Riverdale, Utah, about 20 minutes away from the Spartan race tomorrow. I got some time to kill in the RV, so I thought I'd make a little video on a random electronics project that I made the other day. But really, this video contains all my favorite things. We've got Spartan races, we've got the dogs, we've got the RV, and we've got random electronics. What? How is that possible? Well, to answer that question, we need to go back to where this project idea came from, which was when we ran the Mount Tremblant Spartan race a few weeks ago. Bing! Spartan. So on Sunday, after running the Super, I was headed back to the RV with Maverick to switch dogs, and to eat some lunch. And on the way back, I had 3 different Spartan employees approach me asking if the dogs were okay in the RV. Apparently all of them had gone by the RV, they didn't hear the generator running, so they assumed the ACs weren't on, which was true, and they were worried the dogs were going to get too hot. So first, props to Spartan for taking dog safety so seriously. It's pretty cool that they were worried and that many employees went by the RV, and somehow they figured out who I was and tracked me down in Canada, which was also kind of cool. So it got me thinking, instead of worrying about it getting warm in the middle of the day and the dogs getting too hot, why don't I just create something that turns on the generator, which in turn turns on the ACs, and then I don't have to worry about it. The problem being, usually in the mornings when I leave for a race, it is not hot outside, and I really don't want the generator running for hours for no reason. It's just kind of a waste of gas, and RV generators are kind of ridiculously expensive, so the less I run it, the better. My original idea was to use a little Arduino Uno board, do a little programming, make it nice and simple. Unfortunately, the board I had would not boot up, so that was out the window. But since I am kind of a little electronics nerd, I had a whole assortment of random relays and timers and temperature sensors, so I thought I could cobble something together for free and make this happen. Unfortunately, it looks a little bit like a bomb, so hopefully I don't get caught going through customs or anything with it. But in theory, it's pretty simple. There is a switch in the generator, or in the RV, that runs the generator. You push down on it to prime it, you push up on it to turn the starter over and fire up the generator. So my idea was just tie into that switch, use a couple of relays to simulate pushing up and down on it. Based on the temperature in the RV, kicks on the ACs, everybody's happy. Simple in theory, so here's how it's supposed to work. Okay, so the first step was to tie into the RV generator switch. To do that, I just wired into the back of it. I made this little cover plate with 3 little ports on it so I can plug in different cables. One is for priming, one is to turn the generator off, and one is to simulate starting. So with that, let's look at the actual board. This first relay is a 12-volt relay with a AC coil. When you fire this whole thing up, power just passes right through that and goes on to the temperature sensor relay. That monitors the temperature in the RV, and when it reaches whatever you set it at, it sends power to the next 2 timer relays. The first one runs for 10 seconds. That simulates priming the RV generator. The second one is just to act as a delay between the prime and the start. When that timer runs out, it sends power to the 3rd relay, which simulates holding down the starter for 10 seconds. If everything goes well, the generator starts up. Now in this case, the last relay I have set on a loop, so it will run 10 seconds, then it's off for 4 minutes, then it runs for 10 seconds, and it repeats that 4 times just to give it a chance to start the generator in case it doesn't start in the first try. After 4 tries, it's pretty safe to assume that something is wrong with the generator, so trying to start it over and over again is either going to cause more damage or it's going to run out my battery. So, in theory, that's how it's supposed to work. If we go back to the first relay, after the generator is started, it will power up the RV, and the RV will have 120 volt power, which will kick off this first relay and shut down the whole board. That acts kind of as a backup in case, a couple hours after running, the RV generator just randomly cuts out, which they occasionally do. The RV would lose AC power, which would kick back on this whole board, and it would attempt to restart it. So it's kind of like a fail-safe, so that's why I went that route. I did not test it after making it. I thought it would be fun to put it in the RV and to film the first test, because failing in public is the best way to learn. So let's see if it works. priming. Priming's done. Timer's done. Should be start. Oh, generator started. Works. Generator's fired up, waiting for AC power, and it shuts it all down. Perfect. It's really awesome that it worked on the first try. Kind of thought I'd have to tweak it a little bit to get it to run right. I think the only thing I'll have to play with is the temperature setting. It doesn't kick on until a few degrees after what you set it at, so I'll have to play with the temperature setting to get it to kick on right about when it starts to get warm in the RV, so everything kicks on, AC comes on, and the dogs never get warm. One thing I did forget is the whole thing is powered by this lithium-ion battery out of my portable fridge. This thing's got like 200 amp hours, so it'll run that board for probably a week. So I don't have to worry about the battery in the RV running out or it having its own power. So that's it. Well, I guess the real test will be tomorrow when I'm running the Beast. Hopefully I'll come back. The RV will be nice and cool and the generator will be running.